Hey, 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 what is going on? And welcome. We're going to give you guys a couple of minutes to come on up in here, and then we shall get straight to the show. If you're watching the replay, you can skip this and go straight to the show. We're going to start this up, and we're getting ready to start this up. Hey, Spice Baby. But I would like to say, all the bull crap Nature Boy was talking about, all the generational curses and people taking care of other people's kids. Well, we're going to stop the generational curses and we're going to, every woman, every single woman that have had a baby in carbonation are single mamas. How you building, but they all are single mamas. Every last one of them are single mamas. And every man there has left their child. Besides two women who left their child too. So they won't be single mamas. But if they would have had a baby from one of them, they would have been a single mother too. But that was before carbonation. But from carbonation, with all this knowledge, all this bull crap they supposed to learn, they thought that, you know, it gets like that sometimes, but they thought that it was going to be about family, about raising kids. And for some reason, I think that back then they were thinking, being that it was about unity, kids, and knowledge and spiritual growth and all of that. I think they probably thought, well, if I have a kid by one of these supposed to be men, that it's going to be a family. I'm going to be a family. I'm not going to be like a single mother. I'm not going to be having to struggle to take care of these kids by myself because I'm with a group of quote unquote righteous men that's on the right path, who's on their higher level. Why deal with these low level men that's going to make me a single mother, but not knowing that Nature Boy turned all of you guys into single mothers? It's a job. It's a job. It's a job. And for them to even tell you that crap about I miss my baby and all that other stuff, and they ain't sent a penny. They haven't seen their children. They haven't seen them. They haven't sent them no money. And they still want to be out here teaching. They all want to be teaching, and none of them is with their kids. But they want to sit back and tell us something every day. Like True, Mr. Grady himself, he wants to put something on Facebook every day. How about put something about your son? Put something about your son on Facebook. We got Hold on. Sorry, guys, but as I was saying, they sit up there, even till today, they want to keep preaching to us, and not man, none of them got their kids, not one, and they all want to get themselves together. You see, the women who went through the most had to get themselves together too, but with the baby. All these men getting themselves together, they ain't got no responsibilities. Here go the women. They got to get themselves together with the responsibility of raising these babies. They have to learn. They had to learn the same way, uh, just like any generation. They have to learn. Hey, Miss Rod, they have to learn like everybody else. Baby, just not it's not easy out there. But let's check out Velvet, because she basically, being that Nature Boy kept saying so much that the government gonna take care of them babies. She letting you know that is exactly what's happening. And hey, she gotta do what she gotta do for her children. And I ain't mad at her. Let's go.
Hey everybody, welcome back. How are you doing?
Hey, for the love of music.
I'm going to pin the topic that I want to talk about. Hey Carla. Hey Kiwi. Hey y'all. I'm going to be pinning the topic that I want to talk about. And I want to hear from other people's perspective as well. Hey y'all.
Are your old hair clippers?
Alright, so this is the topic that I want to talk about. Hey Classy Q. What's up, Nate? Hey y'all. Now, this is the topic. I want to talk about this. This is what I want to talk about. Come for me. Come for me. Like, please come for me. But how are you guys feeling today? How are you guys doing? I woke up this rising, like, wanting to smash everything that I have to get done, right? And I'm looking at like my accomplishments and how far I've come, and I realized just this morning that it's getting done. Like, it's getting done. And sometimes I could like worry myself about things that I technically don't have control over. And for real,
That
a lot
filter
of the
look
stuff that
crazy.
is getting
That's a
done. Good
filter?
morning, Angie.
I didn't even know
And a lot
that.
of the stuff that's getting done
I had to get me a
was
filter.
by miracle, but it's because of my determination
Mm.
and my perseverance through my obstacle. Okay. So the topic that I want to talk about, incongruent to my accomplishments, is the fact that the government is my baby daddy. Now, I titled my whatever I want to talk about this because there once before when I wasn't depending on the government to like take care of me or my children or provide assistance for me and my children, you know, there was a man who a man who was supposed to, you know, whether I was married to him or not, he was supposed to take accountability and be responsible for the child
Mm-hmm.
that we both agreed to bring into this life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, he once told me that I would be the government's woman and that the government would be my husband, and he
Mm-hmm.
would try to make me feel bad for if at any moment I had decided to leave him. He would make me feel bad for not looking to the government for the assistance that he no longer was going to provide because of my decision of not being with him. So that turned into um, degrading me,
Mm-hmm.
making me feel like I only could rely or depend on him to do things for me, which led me in like this mind state of thinking that I didn't have any worth or any self-value. So I had to, I felt it made me feel like I had to choose him and him only to provide for me and my child. And that made me feel weird. That made me feel weird because I personally have accomplishments without being with a man. I have goals without being with a man. So the fact that I got with a man and he purposefully had a child with me to only trap me in the circumstance, it made me feel intellectually insulted. It made me feel insulted in every way. In every way. And so at one point in time, I found myself saying, I would never ask the government for help. I would never do this and I would never do that. You know, until I was actually put in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
Because once I had decided to sever ties from that relationship, I had needed assistance.
Yep.
And my mom and my dad was helping me. But what does it look like for a woman to have had been married or be with a man, had a child with that man, and then now decides to leave that man because that man is not standing true in his integrity and dignity, and now she has to depend on her mother and father to take care of not only her but the children that that man agreed to bring into the life. That don't sound well with me.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't make me feel like I'm doing what I need to do as a woman. And so when I finally was put in a position to make something happen for me and my children, I needed to ask for resources. And a lot of I could tell and see that some women are afraid to ask for these resources because the government requires a certain type of requirements for us to be able to get these assistance, get this assistance. And sometimes, Ellie, go, 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 go in the bathroom. Give me 1 second, Cheryl. Ellie. So yeah, like I was saying, the government requires us to do certain things in order to get these assistances, right, or this assistance. Nevertheless, I had two options. I had the option of meeting these requirements that the government told me that I had to meet to receive the assistance to properly take care of myself and my children and elevate me to financial independence, or be homeless and live from pillar to post with my children, trying to figure out how I'm going to pay my parents to take care of them while I go to work, and then my parents also have to go to work. So I had two choices. And I realized in my life that it didn't matter what that man told me. It didn't matter what the government was requiring of me. It didn't matter about any negative outside source. It mattered about what would be the best decision for my children. See, that my mom and my dad always taught me that there's more than one way to skin a cat. But the ultimate way to skin a cat is to skin it effectively, so that you don't have to come back to those little patches that you missed and try to get it off while the cat is
Don't
all
forget,
squirming
hit
and trying
that
to
like.
get all trying to get
Let's
away.
get these likes up.
So I decided to partnership with the government so that my children can be taken care of, whatever that looks like. That's my personal business of whatever that looks like. But I know that it's gonna get me to the next level and where I desire to be. It's gonna get my children to where I desire them to be. So I don't really care about people throwing in my face about who's helping me and how I'm getting the help that I'm getting, because you're not helping me. You're not paying $400, almost $500 a month for somebody to watch my children while I have to go to work. Mind you, you're not helping me pay my electric bill or my gas bill or my rent for that matter. You're not helping me do anything. You're just sitting by, standing, watching me, downing me, and throwing in my face that I have to even go to this extent to ask for the help that you're supposed to be giving me. So I honestly don't care and literally want to stay away from people who throw this very factor in my face. I don't have time for it, and neither do my children. And so at all costs, whether they are the father of the child or not, by all costs, I'm going to cut you out of my life because you mean me no good. You don't want to see me rise. You don't want to see me elevate. You don't want to see my children with better than what you have to offer them. And that's selfish. That's selfish. When you have a child, you literally put all of your needs not on the kind of sort of on the back burner, because you still need to give yourself what you need. Nevertheless, you still need to make sure that the decisions that you're making for your children is in their best interest. The decisions that you make for your children is ultimately going to benefit you, and vice versa. But if you're not making good decisions for yourself or for your children, you're going to be homeless, your children going to be homeless, and your girl going to be homeless. And I'm not a homeless, I am a divine child of the Most High. Do you hear me? And I'm not going to allow any man or woman to come into my life and treat me as if I'm less than. Like, the Lord has, this goal may not be real, but I'm looking at this fake gold that I have around me, that I wear, that's in my house. I'm looking at it as symbolism of the throne that I sit in the spiritual realm. So don't try to come and this is the thing. I really believe that maybe these men who I had the children by, they had an idea of who they thought I was. And then when they actually got into the relationship with me, I wasn't actually who they thought I was. And so I had to sever ties. They didn't want to sever ties because obviously they could benefit from my beauty, from my mothering skills, from my wifely duty. They could benefit from that. But what was I benefiting from? Nothing. The only thing that you gave me was a child that I have to take care of, and that you ultimately, technically neglected. So don't come for me trying to throw the fact that I have to get government assistance in my face. And I'm not even talking about this for people to be in my business. I'm talking about this for all of the other women who have to do the same thing that I'm doing because of the same neglect. That's why I'm talking about it. And I want to encourage every woman out there who has to do this. I want to encourage you and let you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. See, if you if you strive for a goal, if you have a goal, then you'll get to where you need to be. And eventually you won't have to rely on the government. But if you don't have any goals, if you don't set goals for yourself and say, okay,
you got that right, me the great one.
I want to be XYZ, you're not going to make it nowhere quick. So you have to understand that there should be a plan set in place and allowance for other things to come and help you elevate you out of the situation that you're in. And that takes a lot of maturity as a woman, because sometimes dealing with a child where the father is not present, nevertheless 2 children while the father is not present, it could become stressful. very stressful, especially when you're trying to find daycare, find a job, find clothes for them, feed them, do XYZ for them. You don't have a car. You're trying to get, give me a second. You're trying to do XYZ and you can't do it. And you can't do it. That's depression all day around. That's stress all the time, all day, every day. So you would rather me being stressed and be depressed, thinking about your ass, and I don't got none of my shit together? And that's just real. I'm sorry for cursing, and or if you feel disrespect, but I'm just saying that's the realization of the situation. And so I just want to encourage every woman out there, like if you are in a situation where your government, your baby daddy, hey, baby daddy, I need XYZ so I can get to XYZ. And I'm not ashamed because I have a goal. If it wasn't for the sake of me taking my time and getting to know these men before sleeping with them and having a shower with them, the government wouldn't even be my baby daddy. I was in college. I was on the verge of getting a car and getting my own space when I got out of college or whatever the case may have. I was on that. But I lowered my standards. You know, I moved too fast. You know, I allowed, in a sense, I was naive and allowed these men to lie to me and tell me the things that I loved to hear at that moment that I wanted to pursue in a relationship with a man. Nevertheless, none no more. Never again. It's not happening. If a man want to be with me at this point in time in my life, or even think about being with me, he already have to have a couple things to come to bring to the table, because I'm not about to be with a man who cannot provide anything, and nevertheless for himself. For himself, if you don't have XYZ for yourself, what do I think I'm gonna benefit from being with you? If I'm on the verge of getting my car, my house, my X, my Y, my Z, and you don't have anything, you don't have nothing, what you think you gonna do to me? You gonna take my car, you gonna take my house, and then you gonna be bitter because you feel like I'm being better than you, or I am better than you. It's not about being better than you. It's about having my things together. It's about having something to bring to the table, because number one, these are not your children. I have to take care of these children. If at any moment you had decided to step away from me and I relied on you for your car and your house, and I don't have nothing, guess who's gonna be left out? Me and my children that you are not the father of. So excuse me if I'm being a little independent over here. Excuse me if I have higher standards and higher values and higher principles when it comes to who I wanna deal with and who I don't. Matter of fact, you can get out of my way because you're in my way. You're not even an option. You're trying to make yourself an option because you think that you can get a chance with me because of whatever you saw on the internet, or whatever you feel like you saw on the internet, or whatever you're trying to attach me to that you saw on the internet. Get out of my way. You wasting your time, and you definitely wasting my time. And on top of all of that, I'm not gonna allow people to waste my time. No, that's the vibe that I woke up on this morning, this rising. I'm not allowing nobody to waste my time, my effort, or my energy, because I do a lot to get to where I am. I do a lot. It might look like I'm sitting by idle twiddling my thumbs. It might look like I'm constantly on social media just checking for comments. It might look like that. It might look like that, but that's not what's really going on. And guess what? The father of my children ain't doing it. Period. Not even at an inkling. Not even a little bit.
Well,
So,
one in jail.
I don't
Ain't
like
got no
when
bail.
people, try to spin their opinion on somebody else's situation. You don't know why women are in the situations they in. You don't, so you can't judge them and try to throw in their face the fact that somebody is helping them. Because if it wasn't for the help of somebody else, whether it was the government or another man or another woman or their friend or a church or whatever it is, they would be homeless. They wouldn't have nothing. And would you honestly Would you honestly be sitting next to that woman or watch that woman over the internet or do anything and drop some money in her cash app or offer to send anything for her and her children? Would you be that type of person? No. Because there are not that many people. Some people, yes. Some people have helped me, and the people who have helped me, I love you and I care about you. I might not have a lot to give right now. I might not can't buy you lunch or do these things for you, but in the spirit realm, the Lord knows the frequency of my heart and how it goes out and how it feels for the people who have helped me. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, I'm talking about this because I'm not the only woman going through this. I'm not the only woman that's sitting by with the government being her baby daddy, and she knows she don't want to do it, but she got to do it because of men who wasn't wasn't right within themselves. Like, and we took that stuff forward to deal with that man, and now we have the consequences of XYZ. All I'm saying is, and all I'm encouraging other women to do is stand up for yourself. That's the point. Stand up for yourself in any way that looks, because nobody is going to try to come in your life and stand up for you the way that you stand up for yourself. And even if you do find somebody that's going to have your back and that's going to give you what it is that you need and take care of your children, even though they not theirs, you still have to stand up for yourself. You still have to do the things that's necessary for yourself and for your children. Now, I do believe, it's all right. I do believe, hold on.
I can't talk because they got the music playing loud in the background. I don't want to get no copyright strike. So
I do believe that
y'all can leave y'all comments.
Most women who have been through this or who have gone through this, having to rely on the government, being a baby dad, baby father, whatever you want to call it, it was a level of maybe insecurity why they got with the guy, naive, being oblivious the reason why they got with the guy, not really knowing like what was on the other side or what was in the world rather, because I don't really remember too much of somebody bringing me to the side, like really pounding it in my head like this is what to look for, this is not what to look for, because of my own personal situation. I had my own personal situation when I was in my adolescent years. So I was out there in the world at a very young age, and I was, getting to know myself. But during that time of my life, I was pure to the fact like of allowing people to, being themselves. Also paired with the characteristic of seeing people
like
potential.
I said,
every time I
can't talk into background music. I don't want
somebody, whether they're a good person or a bad person, I can see the potential of humans. It doesn't matter who they are. I can see that. That's my natural ability. That's the natural thing that I do. So I see people's potential, and because I'm not all the way understanding of right from wrong and how things could be and how people could lie and manipulate and do XYZ, because I'm not aligned with that understanding, I allowed these people into my life, and I made decisions that weren't the best because of that. Okay, so now in my life, because I've had that, stop it, don't do that to her. So now that I've had that lesson twice in my life, I realize now that one time when my mom and my dad told me to wait to have sex when I got married. Now I understand why. Now I understand when my mom and my dad told me to let a man court you and date him before you do anything with him, before you let him around your children, before you let him in the house, even if you don't have children, before you let a man know what you have and XYZ. Take your time. Now I understand what that means. And before then, I didn't know what that meant. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand. I'm just like, okay, well, this guy seems great. He's telling me everything I want to hear. And then boom, you sleep with him. You have a relationship with him. you leave the country with him, you do XYZ with him, and by far, I must say, by far, I'm not taking the accountability or responsibility away from myself, because baby boy, baby girl, whoever you are on the other end of this camera trying to say, oh, well, you wasn't right in the head. I'm taking responsibility for the ones that I got, whether the government is helping me or not. I made the conscious decision to get myself in a better position. I made a conscious decision to put me and my children in that position so that we can level up higher. Because if it wasn't for the government, I wouldn't be in a home right now. I wouldn't have no food right now. I'll be struggling. I'll be panhandling. I'll be doing a whole bunch of other stuff that I shouldn't have to do to get me and my children. And this is the safest way. On top of the fact that I have stalkers, I have harassers, I have all kinds of stuff. So the government being my baby daddy is exceptionally beneficial for me and my children because I'm protected. Ain't no man out there. The father of one of my children is out there with videos recorded on this social media saying, I wish I could kill you. I don't like you because of XY, because you didn't allow me to do what I wanted to do with you, because you didn't allow me to degrade you, because you didn't allow me to humiliate you, because you're not allowing me to harass you, because you're not allowing me to take our daughter. This is the stuff that's happening. So who's gonna protect me? And not to remind you, my father is no longer living. So it's not like he could just fly from New Orleans and come to wherever I'm coming to protect me. So who is gonna protect me? Who's gonna sit there? What man is gonna sit there? You know, come on now. So I got my situation together, and if it don't look like it's together to you, mind your business anyway, because it ain't your business in the first place to be worrying about if my situation is together or not. Neither is it your place to throw it in my face, because you're in your own life, living your life. You have your financial situation in whatever way that it looks, and I have mine. If you're not adding to mine, if you're not putting in my financial stability pot or whatever you want to call it, don't try to act like you my accountability partner. The only people that can give me advice about what they think I should and should not do as far as making decisions for me and my children to get us to where we need to be are the people who genuinely are there for me and invest in me. That's the only people that I look to and I listen to, because I'm not about to listen to somebody who's gonna degrade me and not help me at the same time. I don't got time for that. And on an all-time high, not to mention on an all-time high.
Oh God!
I have the Lord with me. I have the Lord in my life, and I literally, the reason why because I know I haven't been active on YouTube, and the reason why I haven't been active on YouTube the way that I used to be is because I have transitions in my life too. The Lord says, Velvet, I need you to do this. Velvet, I need you to do that. I need you to digress off of this. I need you to digress off of that. And so I listen to what the Lord tells me to do, because I know I'm being pruned for my journey, for the season that God wants to sling me in or put me in. So I have not been sharing some things as far as like biblically and spiritually, because I'm undergoing a transformation. The Lord is working on me so that I can become a better me, because I ask specific questions for specific answers. And the only way that I was going to be able to get that full understanding is if the Lord had put me through something so that I can get the wisdom and so that he can speak to me through the situation. Nevertheless, it's a matter of growth over here. Either way, whether you see me online or not. You know, this whole online situation was by default, but it is for a divine purpose at the same time. And at the end of the So at the end of the day, though, it's always been a matter of trying to uplift myself and uplift the people around me. And if the people around me couldn't see that and they weren't willing to see that, then I got away from them. Because I'm not about to allow myself or continue to allow myself or my children, for that matter, to be around people that don't love them, don't care about them, and neither do they care about me. So young lady, young woman, aspiring queen, don't be discouraged of the fact that the government is helping you, baby. You better make a plan and you better get to where you need to be. Make goals to get to where you need to be. Because these men out here, some of them, I'm not going to say all of them, some of them, most of them, ain't going to be trying to help you get to where you need to be. And if there is a man who's trying to help you to get to where you need to be, he should be allowing of you making decisions for yourself and for your children to better benefit the situation for all of y'all.
Mama, why is Mommy hugging you?
Because
She love you?
yeah, I love her too. I love her too. It's okay. So y'all, listen. Whatever you need to do for yourself, woman, whatever you need to do for yourself, do it. You're going to go through all different kind of healing stages and phases. And at the end of the day, you're the only one that you got, period. Whether a man come along or not. And if that man do come along and he got your back, cherish him. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying degrade him or anything like that. I'm saying, cherish the things that you have that's around you that's going to help benefit you and uplift you into your highest purpose. That's it. And I think we all should. You know what I'm saying? And also, while you in a position of getting yourself together, if you are presented options of, or men or trying to get with you or whatever, make sure your standards are intact. Make sure that they already check off certain boxes on your list. So that way you don't have to go back and recheck your list and try to check off them boxes and they was never checked off from the gate. Make sure them boxes is checked off before the gate. Make sure before you open that gate, whatever that looks like for you, make sure that them boxes is checked off. Because them boxes ain't checked off, baby, they ain't never gonna be checked off, or you're gonna be trying to tell him to get his shit together so that you can check them off, and that ain't ever gonna happen. Because the way you meet a person is who they are. Because if there never was that person, them boxes would be checked off. And I'm understand. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying by that. And if you don't, then you must have to grow a little bit more into whatever it is that you need to grow into, or you might not be understanding the analogy that I'm using. Nevertheless, make sure your standards are intact. So that way when a man does come into your life, you can be prepared. You can be prepared for that, and so can he. You wanna go? You want my attention? You want my attention? Huh? You want my attention? Yeah. 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 You want my attention? Yeah. Yeah. Oh girl, I'll be my attention, y'all. Okay, so I was gonna take some questions from some other people, but honestly, I want to let y'all go. I definitely want to upload this to Instagram, YouTube. So yeah, you guys have a beautiful day, a beautiful blessed day, and just focus on yourself.
Mama, I will be.
They wait till I start a video and they want to blast the music. They cut it down a little bit, but I had to be on mute because I don't need no copyright strikes. Well, that is what happens when you're young and we think we know everything. We didn't. It's like, how do you break the cycle when you see the cycle and then turn around and do the same thing. A lot of us are like, oh, I want to break the cycle. To break the cycle means what I've seen when I was younger, I'm not going to do when I get older. That's how you break a cycle. The cycle is, oh, I seen my mother, I seen her, she had to go through this, she had to go through that, she's a single mom, she had to work, blah blah blah. That goes for anybody. I mean, the quickest way to say the cycle needs to break is you don't do what you have seen. If you've seen no education in your family life, then that means to break the cycle, you will need education. If you've seen the cycle of growing up where it was alcoholism, abuse, then you would say, I won't never drink alcohol. If you feel like you haven't had love, then breaking the cycle, I'm not going to say a generational curse because there ain't no such thing as a generational curse. Nobody don't put it on you. It's a cycle, and it's a vicious cycle. So now to be so young, now you have to go through the same thing. So, hopefully now your kids will see what you're going through and maybe they'll break the cycle. But that happens too many times. If the mother was in an abusive relationship, the daughter goes right into an abusive relationship. It's like we didn't see the signs, but we saw the signs, but forgot about the repercussions of what happens, and we figure it's going to be different for us. Like it's going to be different. Instead of saying, no, I'm not doing this, we think it's going to be different for us. Well, when you're young. Well, guys, that is the end of this video. Because Velvet says the government is her baby daddy. Just the way Nature Boy wanted it to be. Just the same way the whole carbonation wanted to be. Because technically the government is Tori's baby daddy too. Her husband is in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. She's in one of them. The other girl, Sunny, I wonder who's taking care of her baby. We got all these men out there in carbonation. You thinking all spiritual and righteousness and all this other crap, and you get the same old piece of shit. You get the same old Dusty. You just get a righteous Dusty. the Dusty is just righteous. As well, dirt is dirt, Dusty is dusty. I don't care how you look at it. We got the same, and all them women that's out there. I've seen done with Google Gaga. I think Dot did a very, very good interview. Go check that interview out on Dot. She did an interview with Google Gaga, one of his baby mothers, and now she, another one, thought that was righteous, thought that was the conscience and all this she got the same old Dusty. But I don't know which video it is. Maybe she could play that video over again. And a lot of people forgot about that video. But she does have a nice video of one of Google Gaga's baby mothers. Got a nice video, a nice interview. But you guess what? You get the same thing. You get these entertainers and figure, oh, they got all this money. The same old Dusty. There's a rich Dusty, a poor Dusty. They all still Dusties. They all leave their kids. They all. You find every reason in the book why. But a mother can't do that. Even if she's a bad mother. Now, some mothers, if you're on drugs and stuff, you do leave your kids, but that's if you're on substance abuse or something like that. But rather than that, we go through the same thing, have the same feelings the men feel. We just don't like each other. Rah, rah, rah. But we are still the ones stuck with the kids. And I want to let you men know the way these kids are these days, we're not as bitter as you think we are. Come get your kids. Come get them. Come and get them. Especially, especially when they hit sixth grade. Come and get your kids. Believe me. And to stop saying that you can't get in contact with them. There's 50 million ways on social media. But I'm just saying, come get your kids. They're not as bitter as you think. Try you deal with them from junior high school. We'll do the pampers and stuff, but you take them from junior high school and up. Ain't no mother will contest you. Believe me, we will not contest you. But either way, I'm out of here until the next video, guys. Thank you for being here. If you like what you see and want to see more videos and you're new here, hit that subscribe. If you like the video, hit that like and hit that bell so you will know when the next video is coming on, and leave a comment down below. I'm out of here, guys. Peace out.